I'm going to read 4 verses if that's all right with you. It's cool in the gang. Y'all feeling all right this morning? I'm going to start at verse 9. I'm reading from the English Standard Version, and it reads, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if 2 lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, 2 will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. You may be seated. Again, we are in a series titled Swipe Left, Swipe Right. Swipe left means you are choosing to say no and rejecting the ideologies, the mindsets, the culture of culture, the language of culture that contradicts the word of God. And swiping right means that you are saying yes, you are accepting God's word, his language, his ideologies when it comes to relationships. So we're in part 3 of this series. If you've missed the first 2, I challenge you, go back and watch it. Singles was part 1. We dealt with divorce and remarriage last week. And I want to start off today with a video. I got a 35 to 40 second video with a couple of pictures in it. And what I want you to do is when you identify the people in the pictures, I just want you to yell their names out. All right? That's cool? Y'all cool? All right, let's go. Let's go. Just yell their names out when you identify them. MJ and Scotty. Shaq and Kobe. Batman and Robin. All right. I seen a young person looking like, what? Who is that? Serena and Venus. Mario and Luigi. I know somebody's like, who is that? Michelle and Obama. Don't y'all play. Don't play with the Obamas. Peanut butter and jelly. What do those pictures have in common? Somebody tell me. Let's talk. What'd you say? Somebody said something over here. What'd you say? Perfect what? Perfect pair. What else? What do you see? They go together. They complement each other. They work well together. They're a dream team. They're a dynamic duo. Listen. All of them have in common is they are dynamic duos that when they work together as one unit, they have reached heights and levels of success that they would not been able to reach alone. This is what I want to present this morning or propose this morning today, is that if a man and a woman who decides to do life together, chooses to do life together, decides to become partners, I believe and propose that they can reach heights and levels of success that you would not be able to reach on your own. So I want to tag part 3 of Swipe Left, Swipe Right, the power of partnership. Now we're focusing on marriage today, but don't tune me out, singles. I got some dating nuggets for you, though, so that you can be prepared for marriage as well. Somebody shout, there's power in partnership. All right, let's look at my working definition so we're on the same page as what a partnership marriage is. All right, here it is. It's 2 people moving, stay with me, in the same direction, pulling the same weight, fighting the same battles, and building the same vision under God's covenant. All right? Let's read that together. All right? Y'all with me? We're going to start with 2 people, okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 people moving in the same direction, pulling the same weight, fighting the same battles, and building the same under God's covenant. So in light of this definition of a partnership marriage, you can see that a marriage license or just walking down the aisle does not automatically make you partners. It automatically makes you husband and wife, but just because somebody said, repeat after me and say, I do, does that automatically mean that you're moving in the same direction in life? Does that automatically mean that you are both pulling the same weight to get to where you want to be? Does it automatically mean that you are fighting the same battles and you are building the same vision under God's covenant? It does not. So my challenge today for all of us who are already married is to work, fight, and do whatever it takes to become partners in marriage. And my challenge for the singles is to position yourself to where you can be a great partner, but also have a little knowledge and foresight on what a great partner looks like. All right? Now, first thing I want to do is give you 3 enemies of the partnership marriage. 3 enemies of the partnership marriage, and then we're going to go into our text. Number 1, this is not exhaustive. I had 10, and I cut it down to 3. Number 1, the roommate marriage. Somebody shout the roommate marriage. Yeah, that's an enemy to the partnership marriage. What's the roommate marriage, Pastor? You share space, but don't share life. You cohabitate under the same roof, but you don't collaborate in life. Just because you come home every night after work and sleep under the same roof, it does not mean you're partners. It essentially just means you are roommates. And just being a roommate is an enemy to the partnership marriage. All right, here's another one. Y'all ready for another one? Here's number 2, the competitive marriage. Somebody shout the competitive marriage. You wouldn't think this is real, but it's there, it's there. So instead of building together, you try to outdo each other. So one person's success in the marriage feels like the other person's loss. Who would ever have thought that jealousy can be in marriage? That competition can be in marriage. Now, don't think that thing starts in marriage. That thing started from when you were little. You just that was baggage that you already had. You competed against everybody. You were jealous of anybody and everything, that somebody had something that you didn't have. And guess what? You just brought it into your marriage. Why? Because you didn't understand the 2 shall become 1. Because there is no way you can hate on yourself, or at least should hate on yourself. The way we are supposed to see our spouses is that we are one, which means when my wife wins, I win. When your husband wins, then guess what? That means you win. It don't matter who gets the praise or who gets the glory. We won. Listen, I am known in the DFW Metroplex. There's not many places that I can go to where people don't stop me and say, I know you. Here's the thing. When they stop me, you know what they say? They say, are you Dana Hemphill's husband? Nobody says, are you Pastor Lewis, the pastor of the Link Church in DeSoto? Nobody says, are you the real estate mogul that has the Hemphill Real Estate Group? Nobody says any of those things. What they say is, are you Dana Hemphill's husband? And I stick my chest out and I proudly say, that's exactly who I am. I ain't never corrected one person. Now, they could have naturally assumed we had the same last name and said, are you Mr. Hemphill? Nope, they don't care. They don't say that. They just say, are you Dana Hemphill's husband? And I say, yes, I am. I ain't got no problem with that. Go ahead, make me a jersey, give it to me for my birthday, where it says Dana Hemphill's husband. I ain't got no issue with that. Why? Because if she's shining, I'm shining. We are one. Ain't no comparison trap here. And that's the way it should be in our marriage. But if it's not, that's an enemy to the partnership marriage. Here, number 3, we talked about this a little bit last week. The me first marriage. The me first marriage is an enemy to the partnership marriage. Why is that? Or what is that? Self-interest replaces shared interest. Okay, if I'm examining myself, Pastor, how do I know if me and my spouse fall into, or one of us fall into the me first marriage formula or format or mindset? This is how you know. Decisions are filtered through personal benefit instead of collective purpose. What does that mean? That means that when we sit down at the table and we decide if we are going to go left or go right, the person who makes the final decision, or it could be both people, they decide that the best way to go is what benefits them personally. Not what benefits our house the most, not what benefits the family the most, not what's going to get us to reach the goal the quickest, the fastest. Why? Because first of all, we don't have no collective goals. All of our goals are individual and separated and isolated. So with that in mind, when we make a decision, I say, hey, what are we going to do with the money? What I want to do with the money? What are we going to do with the house? Whatever I want to do with the house. Why? Because it's me first. So whatever benefits me and what I want, that's the direction that I'm voting for. That is a me first marriage. And all of these, the roommate, the competitive marriage, and the me first marriage are all enemies of the partnership marriage. Now, what does God have to say about partnership? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Let's look at these few verses. Now, let's look at this text to find out what God says. But let me preface this exposition with the fact that this portion of text, it is not historically or contextually about marriage. I just want to make sure I'm sound in that, right? When the author was writing this to the audience, they weren't thinking about marriage. They were thinking about communal partnership. That was the state and the nature of Israel at that time, okay? They were a communal institution. What does that mean? They needed each other. When it came to work, they needed each other. When it came to building things, they needed each other. When it came to protecting the community, they needed each other. So the promotion is the fact that, hey, as a community, we can do more together than we can by ourselves. But I believe that the principles and the promises that are right here and just in these few verses can relate to any type of partnership, including the marriage partnership. So my challenge this morning is, as we look at this text and pull out a few nuggets and principles that we can apply to our life, let us look at it through the lenses of marriage. Let's go. Verse 9, let's walk through it. We're just going to have Bible study. Is that cool if we just have Bible study this morning? Look at your neighbor and say, the reason we got to have Bible study on Sunday is because you won't come to Bible study on Wednesday. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. All right, number 9, here we go. 2 are better than 1 because they have a what? A good reward for their toil. Here's my point for number 1. Our success lies within our partnership. Our success lies within our partnership. When we look at the text, it says 2 are better than 1. It's not saying just 2 alone, just because we're 2 people standing next to each other, that we're better than 1. It's literally saying when 2 people work together, that is better than 1 person who is working by themselves. So the Hebrew word for better right here is beneficial and advantageous. So when we take that definition and we connect it to my definition of a partnership marriage, this is what it sounds like. When a married couple is moving in the same direction, pulling the same weight, fighting the same battles, and building the same vision, they have an advantage. In other words, a partnership marriage is a cheat code in life. That's the way you got to see it. Baby, when we work together, we got an advantage in life. We got a benefit in life. We got a blessing in life. When we are on the same page and we are on one accord and we have decided collectively what we're going to do with our time and our energy and our money and our efforts, then guess what? We got a cheat code like the games we used to play when we were young. How many of y'all remember the Contra Code? Those of you who are old enough, you remember that? You remember, Eric, what's the Contra Code? Up, down, left, right, A, B. Those were codes that, look, Marquisha looking at me like, what's that? Okay? You was playing with dolls while we was playing with Nintendo, okay? All right? So what that would do, it would give us unlimited lives. And when we got unlimited lives, we were able to beat the game. It didn't matter how many times we died. And that's exactly what happens when a husband and a wife works together. It don't matter what you go through. It don't matter what you're dealing with. We gonna make it to the place that God wants us to be. Come on, somebody praise God for the cheat code that he's given us in a husband and a wife. Now, one of the benefits of partnership, write this down if you're a note taker, is multiplied efforts. Multiplied efforts. It's like compound interest. In other words, we can go further and faster together. Somebody said, let's say it together. We can go further and faster together. I don't believe the things that me and Lady Dana have accomplished, or at least in our eyes that we deem successful, I don't think we would have been able to do it by ourselves. And if we would have been able to do it by ourselves, I don't think it would have been on the level, right, that we've been able to do it. I remember there was one season in our life where we sat down and we talked about, hey, what are our goals, what are our visions? And hers has always been, I want to record an album. She told me that when we were dating, that's always been a lifelong dream for her to become a gospel recording artist. And I said, cool, we need to get that done. But also, I got a vision too. I believe that God has called me to start a church. So I want to plant a church, and I believe that time is coming in the next few years. So we had to look at that, and we had to realize, ain't no way we're going to be able to do that, both of that at the same time. And I think, take notes, married couples, I think that's one of the problems that many of us have is a husband got a vision and a dream, and he's going for it. The wife got a vision and a dream, and she's going for it. Here's what happens. The effort is split in the house. The energy is split in the house. The time is split in the house. The money, anything you're trying to accomplish, guess what? That thing costs some money. It takes time, energy, effort, and money to accomplish any goal or vision that you have, for sure, if it's bigger than you. Now, if you're following one way and I'm following another way, guess what? It's going to take us so much longer to get there if we ever get there. But what happens if we create a plan and a strategy where we can accomplish both? So that's what we did. We had to sit down. And here's some questions that we had to ask. Which one can get done the quickest? Y'all looking at me, somebody need to be writing that down. Because y'all need to be going home with your husband and wife. Because he's trying to go one way, she's trying to go one way. Guess what? You can accomplish both, but you just may not be able to do it at the same time. One of the questions you need to ask is, which one of our goals can be accomplished the quickest? Which one may cost less money, less time, less energy? Another question you can ask is, which one of these could possibly enhance or be a trampoline or a launching pad to the other? So what we discovered was it's going to take a few years to get a church off the ground. So that means that for 3 to 5 years, all of our efforts, energy, money needs to be going toward the church. But we can get your album done probably in less than a year. And if we get the album done and then you start going around, guess what that's going to do? Your name is going to go up in the DFW Metroplex. Then when we decide to launch a church, what does that mean? That means little people know who we are. Right? Whether they come or not, at least they know who we are, and we got a little credibility in the city now that we are now pastors and leaders of a church. So we decided the best thing to do was get the album done, get the album out, promote that, spend time, energy, effort, and money in there, and then we would launch the church. So what did that do? That gave us structure, that gave us order, that gave us vision, and that gave us a timeline. And both of us were able to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish in that time. That's what happens when you become partners. Here it is. I became so she could become. And she became so that I could become. Okay, work that, Pastor. What do you mean? So while we're working on her album, I became all of these things I never knew that I would become. I became a record label CEO. Y'all don't even know it. We got a whole record label. You want to know what the name of the record? This ain't no. I'm talking about we got a registered, official business record label, Link Music Group. Y'all didn't even know we had that. That's what her album is under, Link Music Group. All right. So I became a record label CEO, a contract expert. I become a inventory specialist. Right, getting all these CDs ordered, learning about CPPCUs and all this other kind of stuff. I become a booking manager. I'm booking all her engagements. I'm calling churches. Can my girl get on the concert? Can she come open up? For an entire year, we left our positions at church to go push the album. For an entire year before we launched the church, we're at a different church every single Sunday. Every single Sunday for pretty much an entire year promoting and selling the album. I became all of these things. Why? So that she could become. Then time comes to launch the church, and guess what? Now she became so that I could become. What did she become, Pastor? She became the vice president of the board of a nonprofit organization. She becomes the first lady. She becomes the worship leader. She becomes the fine arts director and the women director of our church. All at one time when we started this church. That's who she was. She became so that I could become. I became so that she can become. I wonder if the reason you have not reached the goal that you wanted is because y'all won't become, so the other person will become. You got to start asking yourself the question, singles, the person am I dating, is this somebody who is willing to become so that I can become? Will you become all the things you never knew you needed to become just so that I can fulfill my dream? And then will I in return? Because if you ain't ready to do that, then guess what? You ain't ready to be a wife or a husband either. So it ain't just examining another person, it's examining yourself too. So singles, maybe somebody's asking the question, how do I discover if the person I'm dating or will date has the potential to be a great partner? Anybody asking that question? If not, I'll keep going and we'll skip that part, all right? Y'all stay there, y'all want it? Okay, here. Number one, singles, they take responsibility for their life. As you're dating someone, and you're communicating with them and conversing with them, what you need to find out to see if they potentially could be a great partner in marriage is, do they take responsibility for their life? What am I doing? I'm listening to how they talk about past jobs, past relationships, and past failures. What's the point in that, Adia? Do they blame everybody else for what happened? So when you say, hey, what do you do for a living? Such, how long you been on that job? Oh, I've been on that job for a year. Okay, well, you 35, so you obviously this ain't your first job. What happened at your last job? Man, they was tripping. Man, I had to get up out of there, man. They had all these kind of rules. Like, they was tripping for real. Dang, what did they want? Man, they wanted us to come on time every day. Like, for real? They wilding out up there. Want y'all to come on time and stuff, showing up every day. They crazy in the mug. What about, how long was you on that job? 6 months? What happened to the job before? Man, they was tripping too. It's like these folks got a habit of expecting, want you to do what they ask you to do and stuff. What's wrong with these people? Oh, okay. Well, what happened in your last relationship? Yeah, man, about that. I had to move up out of that unhealthy type. She was toxic, he was toxic. For real, what about the one before that? Oh, they was, so you had your last two relationships, the other people, both of them was toxic? Now, I'm seeing this trend that every time you end something and get out of it, it's always everybody else's fault. Okay, so you showed me something. What'd you show me? You don't take responsibility for your life. You might not be a good partner. Here's number two. They show consistency between words and actions. They show consistency between words and actions. So what am I doing? I'm paying attention to their follow-throughs. I'm paying attention. That matters. We grown now, y'all. Grown people do what they say they're going to do. And if they don't do it, they're going to communicate. That's what grown people do. Hey, I know I told you I was going to show up, but, and I ain't talking about 5 minutes before. You knew good and well this morning you wasn't going to be able to show up. Those are signs. Look at somebody and say, you got to start looking for the red flag if you're single. Where my singles at? Where my singles? My singles in here. Look at a single and say, you got to start paying attention to these red flags. Y'all all got y'all all googly-eyed self and you don't pay attention to nothing. Overlooking all the red flags because he fine. Because she cute. Do they show up when they say they will? Do they keep small commitments? These are all foreshadows of what you will see after. And here, I always tell singles this, or people who are dating and people who are engaged. Whatever you see and don't like now is just going to enhance after the marriage. Especially if you're not living together. If you're not living together, you only see that thing that you don't like a couple of hours a week. Maybe a couple hours a day. Wait till you got to live with it. Somebody said, I'm breaking up tonight. It's over, baby. You ain't got to go home. All right, number 3, here we go. I got to get it. What time is it? Oh, man. They have vision, goals, and forward movement. If you just tuned in, what are you doing, Pastor? I'm just answering the question, how do I discover if the person that I'm dating or will date in the future has the potential to be the great partner? Number 1 was they take responsibility for their life. Number 2, they show consistency between words and actions. And number 3, they have vision, goals, and forward movement. Here the thing is, y'all get so excited about somebody with some goals and a little bit of vision. Don't stop right there. Hey, what you want to do in the future? Man, I want to be this, and that. I want to do such. Now you need to go deeper. Second question, 5 levels of question, 7 levels of question. Go back, study that. Second question you need to ask after that is, what are you doing right now to get closer to that goal? Oh, you want to be a business owner? Okay, what are you doing now? Have you got your DBA yet? Well, what had happened was, okay, how long you had that dream? 7 years. That's been your dream for 7 years, and you couldn't even take 30 minutes on your lunch break to go get a DBA at the records building? Now you can mail that thing in. You couldn't even get a stamp and mail it in. 7 years, that's been your dream and your vision? And that's all you still got? Signs. Are they moving toward where they're going? Don't just ask about the goals, but say what you're doing right now to make it happen. Number 4, here's the 4th thing. I got 2 more. They celebrate your goals instead of competing with them. So what do I do there, Pastor, during that dating while we're communicating and conversing? Share something important to you that you want to accomplish, and then see how they respond. Do they champion it? Do they celebrate it? Do they give a response as if, I would love to help you accomplish that? Or do they quickly move back to themselves and their vision and what they wanted? Like, man, that's so cool. All right, now back to what I was talking about with me. You know what's going to happen if you marry that person? Your whole life, you're going to be the assistant to their vision. And here's the thing. Let me holler at my married couples real quick. Your spouse had a dream, a goal, and a vision before they ever met you. And I promise you, it wasn't to only be the assistant to your vision and your dream and your goals. This is what this partnership thing is about. It's about you doing your part to help your spouse become everything that God has called them to be. Them helping you to become everything that God has called you to be. And collectively, what do? We become the dynamic duo that God, at the end of this journey, says, well done, good and faithful servant. Here's my last one for you singles. They demonstrate a mindset of partnership, not just a personal benefit. So what am I doing? You're listening for language. How they talk about our dreams and our goals, something that we can do together. Do they sound like they have a teamwork mentality, or I need somebody to help me? I'm looking for somebody to build with, not just complete my life. Now, while you're examining other people and you're thinking about the person that you're dating, examine yourself right now too. Am I a great partner based on these 5 things? Or am I the one that when I think about marriage and I think about long-term commitment, I'm focusing on finding somebody who can complete me? If that's your mindset, you ain't going to be, at this point, let me make sure I word it right because I don't want no emails. I got a long week already, all right? You are potentially positioned to not be a great partner because you're focusing on somebody completing you. When God says the new entity that I want to create is what? We, which goes over me. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next verse. 10 and 11, we're almost done. For if they fall, we could say when you fall, you're going to fall in some way, form, or fashion in life. And if they fall, one, that's if you got somebody there as a partner, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Verse 11, again, if 2 lie together, they keep warm, but how can one keep warm? What? Alone, by yourself. Here's point number 2 for if you're writing. Our stability lies within our partnership. Our stability. So number 1 was what? Our what? For the 3 people that's writing. Our success lies within our partnership. And here's number 2, our stability lies within our partnership. Here's something you got to know. Your spouse, current spouse or future spouse, they're going to make some mistakes in marriage. Not only that, they're going to face trials, emotional struggles, career setbacks. Life is going to life for you and your spouse, and it may not always be at the same time. And here's the thing, you don't even know how life is going to impact you. You don't know. You have no idea how the death of a parent is going to impact you until it happens. You have no idea how the death of a grandma could impact you until it happens. You have no idea how a sudden death of a sibling or a child or a loved one, you have no idea how the job loss, the job that you thought you was going to be with, you have no idea the tailspin that it could possibly take you in. Well, guess what? While you're in that state, the question will be, do you have a partner? Not just a roommate. A roommate ain't going to help you get through when life is lifing, when the storms of life are raging. So the thing that's going to keep a boat stable when the storms of life are raging is not a roommate, it's a partnership. When you're in a partnership, it involves a couple of things. One, it involves forgiveness. Somebody shout forgiveness. Because nobody wanted to say amen when I said that. You was like, I'm cool with forgiveness when I need it, but when I got to give it, that's a whole nother subject. When I need it, give me forgiveness in 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to be mad and offended about what I did, but when you do something to me, give me a week or two. That ain't a partnership. That's a me first marriage. That's a selfish marriage. It's about me marriage. A partnership involves forgiveness. Why? Because they will make mistakes, because they will fall, and I'm responsible for being there to support them, encourage them, support them, and restore hope. With forgiveness, I think there's a space that we leave out in marriage, and that's restoration. That's restoration. I forgive you for what you did to me, but I'm not restoring you back to the place you were before you made the mistake. So you still got to stay in the bedroom downstairs. You still getting the cold shoulder. We still walking in isolation. I forgive you because I'm going to go to heaven. But I ain't talking to you right now. You getting this cold shoulder, this icy, you getting this ice in this house. It's winter though. Why is it so icy in here? Because you aren't restored to your rightful place as my equal partner. Sheesh. And we wonder why we're not stable at home. So partnership involves forgiveness. It involves restoration. Guess what else it involves? Here's my last one on here. Nakedness. If you're married, if you're single, do not say this to your neighbor. If you're married and your spouse is here, tell them, I need to see you naked. I need to see you naked a whole lot more than what I've been seeing you. In the Garden of Eden, prior to sin, it was constant nakedness. What did that nakedness represent? Vulnerability, nothing covered up. We got to get back. That's what a partnership is. A bad partnership, let's look at it from a business standpoint. A bad partnership is partners keeping secrets from each other, not communicating with each other. You spending money and we ain't talked about it. You signing contracts and we ain't talked. What would you say about that business? You done signed us in the contract, a 5-year contract, and we ain't even talk about it. I don't value you enough to talk to you about that. I don't honor you enough. We're not a partnership. Come on, men. Partnership means that we talk to our wives about these things before we make a decision. Just because you're the head of the house don't mean you a monster. Head of the house don't mean I make decisions without my partner. We talk about it. Value their wisdom. Value the wisdom of your wife. She knows some things you don't know. That's great. It's cool. And again, you know a little bit about business. But that don't mean you're even close enough to God for the Holy Spirit to show you some things that you can't learn in the book. You ain't prayed in a week. She been fasting and praying every day. Fool, you better ask her, what are you hearing in the spirit realm? Because I ain't even talked to God this weekend, and we about to make a major move. We might lose our house or something. And you trying to make a decision without somebody who been fasting and praying all month long in January while you was eating at the buffet restaurants every day? Come on now. Here we go. Last verse, and we out of here like last year. I'm done. And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. What was point number one? What was point number two? They showing y'all. They weren't supposed to show y'all. Y'all was supposed to tell me because y'all was paying attention. Thanks, AV. Here's point number 3. Our strength lies within our partnership. Our strength lies within our partnership. We're gonna face attack from our spiritual enemy. Why? We talked about that last week. Because the enemy hates us. The enemy hates everything that God has originated and designed and put together. And guess what? Your marriage just so happens to be the first institution that God created. Family is the first institution that God created, and Satan hates it every day. Just like we said last week, he is trying to figure out how to sabotage your marriage and how to sabotage your family. I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. Your spouse is not your enemy. Here's my challenge. Fight the enemy, not each other. I want to show y'all what this looks like. I need a couple. Y'all cool? Can I use y'all? Can I use y'all right quick? Come on up here. He looking like, nope. It's cool. You? If y'all don't want to, that's cool. I'll use them right there. Y'all cool? Y'all use that? Come on, quick. Y'all give it up for them. Give it up for them. All right. Come on, man. You got the Gucci, man. We wanted to show the Gucci. You got the Gucci, y'all. Here. Come up here. Y'all come up here. This is what some of us look like. Okay? I want you go on that side. This is tug of war. You go over here. Give a little slack. Leave a little slack behind you like that. Give a little slack behind you. Give a little slack behind you like that. Okay. Go ahead. Pull. Y'all tug of war. Okay, stay right there. This is what many of us look like on a day-to-day basis. We're supposed to have shared vision, but we're pulling in two different directions. We're supposed to be going the same way, but she pulling this way, he pulling that way. We're pulling in different directions. Our energy and effort is not getting to where we're supposed to, where God wants us to be and where we have collectively agreed. We are using our energy and our efforts and our time to pull against each other as if we're the enemy. Well, while they're pulling against each other, where's the enemy himself? Walking around, lurking, seeking whom he may devour. At some point, he's looking, let me see who the weakest link is. Maybe it's him. And then what is he doing? Let me join in with her. So now, instead of fighting the enemy, she unconsciously has partnered with the enemy. Let's try to pull your husband into the mud. Get him dirty, get him messy. Now he mad at her and hate her even more because she's the cause of him getting muddy and dirty. So then what does Satan do? Let me go over here. Now let me help him and let me partner with him to destroy his wife and her faith and everything she's trying to do. And this is what a whole lot of us look like every single day in our homes. What should it look like? Go over there. Yeah. Right there. This is what it should look like. I'm the enemy. And we're fighting against the one who is trying to destroy us. But one can put 1,000 to flight, but two can put what? 10,000 to flights. I believe this is what God is showing us, that if we partner together, we can become the dynamic duo that no devil in hell can stop us from reaching the level and heights of success that God has for us. All right, this is what it's supposed to look like too. Y'all turn around back to back. Let me give you this. Then they always see the enemy. Wherever he is, one of them sees them. When they're fighting, face each other. When it's fighting, this is where they are. She's focused on him, he focused on her. Nobody can see the enemy. So here it is. Let me keep them distracted. Let me go in here with the kids. Let me destroy these kids because it's the next generation. And I know if they ever get on one accord, these children are going to be the next deacons, the pastors, the worship leaders, the youth pastors, the next business owners who represent God, the next Chick-fil-A owners. So while they are fighting and distracted with each other, let me go and deceive the baby. Let me traumatize the baby. Let me scar the child. Let me let them make sure they know you ain't wanted, you ain't loved, you'll never be successful, you'll never be nothing, you a loner, you might as well be isolated. Why? Because they're focused on each other. But if they could turn around in a teamwork mode, then guess what? Fighting together, the enemy could never be anywhere without one of them seeing where he is. All right, y'all can go. Thank you, man. Thank you. So how do we fight the enemy together? And I'm done. Here's 3 ways. It's not exhaustive. This is just for you to go home and work on. 1, pray together. Somebody shout, pray together. Prayer invites God into the situation, and it aligns our hearts. I'm challenging you, my men. If you're in here, if you're watching, your wife shouldn't be a prayer warrior alone. Now, again, she may have a call of an intercession. That's okay. That's cool in the game. It don't mean you're going to pray on her level, but she shouldn't be praying by herself. She shouldn't be the only one fasting by herself. When the enemy is attacking and you see the enemy attacking, y'all need to start praying together. You need to be some fasting together. Let's push our plate back, baby, and we're going to pray against the enemy that's coming against our kids, our house, our finances, our careers, our name, our legacy, whatever it is. Let's invite God in this situation together. Why? Because we are partners now. It's not you by yourself. It's not me by myself. It is together, collectively, warring in the spirit realm against our collective enemy. Number 2, how do we fight together? Communicate openly and honestly. Communicate openly and honestly. We got to be talking. We got to be sharing. Silence and lies give the enemy space to operate. What did I say? Silence and lies. I'm okay. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Yes, it is. It is something wrong with you, sister. Hey, bro, what's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong with me. You down in the basement. You've been in the basement for 3 days playing your game, watching your TV, drinking your beer. Your Coke. For 3 days, you ain't talked to nobody. And she like, you all right, babe? Yeah, I'm all right. You lying. And we are opening the door for the enemy because we are not being transparent. We are not communicating. And that is Satan's goal, to get us to not communicate. We are not communicating. We can't say, hey, Satan's coming over there. Hey, the enemy's climbing through the window up there. I just seen him. Why? Because we ain't talking. Here's my last one and we done. Refuse division and protect unity. How do we fight together, Pastor? Number 1, pray together. Number 2, communicate openly and honestly. And the third one, refuse division and protect unity. Say that with me. Refuse division and protect unity. Divide and conquer has always been every enemy's strategy. Let's go into their camp. Let's sneak in there when they don't know that we're in there. It's not, if we go in the front door, we're going to lose a lot of men. So let's just sneak a few in there and try to divide and conquer. Maybe we can get them stirred up against each other. Maybe we can get them to kill each other. And then we can just come in while they wounded, we can finish them off. The enemy's trying to make his job as easy as possible. Divide and conquer. So what do we have to do? We have to refuse to let 3 things create separation: offense, pride, and resentment. Those are 3 major things in the life of a marriage that if we don't refuse it, if we don't fight it, if we don't stand against it, it will cause division, and we are not guarding and protecting unity. Offense. Yes, offenses will come. Offenses will come. You live with somebody, they're going to do something to offend you. The question is, how long will you allow the offense to stay in you to the point that you allow it to divide you from your spouse? Which means to fight for unity, you got to fight against your offended heart. Jeez. Now, to do that, what do you got to do? Fight against the second thing, which is pride. Which is pride. Because pride will say, no, they deserve this cold shoulder. No, they deserve this ice. No, they deserve to go sleep at their friend's house for 3 days. They deserve to be punished. That's what pride says. Humility says, you hurt me, but there ain't no way in heaven or hell I'm letting Satan divide us in this season of our marriage. So I'd rather suck this hurt up than to give the devil victory in my house. Last one on there. Offense, pride, and resentment. Resentment causes us to act out because we haven't forgiven. It allows us to be okay with us sleeping on separate sides of the house. It allows us to be okay with not checking in and talking and communicating with each other, because I'm hurt and I resent what you did to me, and I know you apologize, and I don't care about any of that. If we are going to stay united and fight against division in our house, we don't have no choice but to fight against offense, pride, and resentment. What does it say at the end of this verse 12? A threefold cord is not quickly broken. What's the three parts? God, the husband, and the wife. Now, that's not the context of that verse. Don't go and call me a heretic. But you can't tell me that you and your husband or your wife by yourself is stronger than you, your husband, your wife, and God. I believe that when God is part of the partnership between the husband and the wife, we are stronger than anything our human efforts can create. I'm done. The last thing I want to tell you as I close is that your power is not in your marriage certificate. Your power is not in your $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000 wedding. Your power is in your partnership. Your power is in both of you, husband and wife, moving in the same direction, pulling the same weight, fighting the same battles, and building the same vision under God's covenant. I believe the challenge that God is giving us today is that when we partner together with Him as husbands and wife, that we can become dynamic duos for the kingdom. The reason why I showed you those pictures early is so that you can allow that to inspire and motivate you to see that me and my husband, me and my wife, in the spirit realm, we can be Shaq and Kobe on their best days. Not when they were fighting in the locker room. In the spirit realm, we can be Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. In the spirit realm, we can be Mario and Luigi. In the spirit realm that will translate into the natural, we can be like peanut butter and jelly on the soft white bread. Not that wheat bread in the picture. Come on, stand to your feet and give God a praise and say, I receive that by faith.